Hello, good morning, viewers. Welcome to the Women's Voice, which is a platform for women rights initiative. And this platform enables us to discuss various issues in regards to GBV and sexual reproductive health. And yeah, you're welcome to the show. And today, our guest is Mclean. Kyomya, you're welcome to our show. She will briefly introduce herself. Please, Mclean.
You and good morning to our viewers. Well done for the good work you're doing. Kyomya Mclean, we work with the Nation Alliance for Change, and it's a grassroots network that works with ex-workers and those with intersecting vulnerabilities, for example, by displacement, adolescent girls, young women, women using and injecting drugs, women living women sex workers with disabilities among that category. And I'm so happy to be hosted by Warren. And congratulations for investing in the new digital world. It wasn't very easy, so I first time to use StreamYard, but I'm so excited to be part of this platform and also to be honored to be one of the speakers. Thank you.
You're welcome. So today's topic is GBV safety planning and what we should consider. I'll briefly talk about the safety planning. Safety planning is a critical tool, meaning it's important, and it's usually used by GBV case workers with the survivor of GBV to help the survivor of IPV. IPV, I mean intimate partner violence, to think through her resources and plan her safety from day to day. That is, if they are facing such issues of violence. It also used to support her planning if she decides to leave this relationship. So basically, safety planning is a tool that caseworkers use to plan on how to help the survivor. So, Maclean, I have some key questions that I wanted you to discuss further on. And the first one is, could you briefly describe for us what safety planning is?
Safety planning, basically, I'll define it as a process within case management, which includes identification and formation of goals, strategies that positive change situation. There are situations or the best situation that experiencing affected caused by issues of gender-based violence, whether it's gender, and some good examples of course would be shelters. We could talk about seeking psychosocial emotional support, or friends or sisters or guardians or caregivers who really care about you, and that would give you an opportunity to share your experience, to explain probably what you're going through without judging you, without telling you or asking you into the discussion. So ideally, that for me, that would be safety planning.
So, how would you briefly this talked about intimate partner violence, and I wanted to understand how you describe this kind of violence and what are those behaviors that are involved in this violence.
So generally, violence is it's a process or a situation whereby we see physical harm or acts, like somebody slapping, kicking, boxing, or somebody throwing an object to you that directly inflict on your body, or pain on your body. And then sometimes it can be psychological or emotional, whereby we still see, like, for example, maybe we could look look at a relationship or a partner where people are in a relationship, but then ideally someone is
Okay, we've kind of lost her, but what she was trying to say, this intimate intimate partner violence, it basically happens in relationships that where a man or the husband gains or maintains power over the woman, and behaviors by male partners using IPV to control. They use this to control their female partners, and this could be in a physical way, in a sexual or psychological harm. These acts include aggression, they include sexual coercion, psychological abuse, and controlling behaviors. These controlling behaviors can lead to probably a man killing the woman in some cases, or causing severe harm to them. This definition basically covers both the current and the former spouses or other intimate partners. It can be a boyfriend, it can be someone you're living with, it can be a husband. So this violence against the women and girls, uh, the acts of physical violence such as slapping, hitting, kicking, beating, sexual violence, which includes forced sexual intercourse, and other forms of sexual coercion. All these happen in intimate partner violence. There can be the emotional abuse, that is the psychological abuse, which may include the insults, the threats of harm, threats to take away children, intimidating, destroying things, all that belittling someone, constant humiliation of the partner, that all can be the emotional abuse. And the controlling behaviors may include isolating this person from their family or friends. Like the husband may stop you from visiting your friends or attending certain things that are family related, and this person will control you in that way, monitoring every movement that you do, whether you're going to your family, whether you're going to your friends. This person is always on you and restricting them from accessing the financial resources. Let's say you have joint finances, whereby you have to first ask this person for you to acquire that. Um, and also isolating this person from, I've talked about isolating, and also restricting the employment and education and medical care. Employment, I mean, like these spouses that stop their wives from working, whereby this person has to entirely depend on the husband. And education, where you can, let's say you're involved with your partner, and probably you met when you achieved your bachelor's, but you would want to go back for further studies, and this person would stop you from gaining that. So all that kind of abuse, it's in relation to intimate partner violence, whereby the person you're staying with, or your partner or your husband, is stopping you from acquiring whatever you want. So our role as a caseworker, our role as a caseworker is to play in is to be supportive to the survivor through helping this person assess these potential risks that she's likely to face, supporting her in her safety planning, as well as offering referrals to additional services that she may need. Caseworkers usually need to understand the for repeating risk factors of repeating or repetitive abuse that can escalate into something else. It is also important to predict whether this partner seriously harm this person. This is after the victim or the survivor has described the situation they are in. So for you, you're there to guide them. What I'm trying to say is caseworker does not specifically stop the abuse, but they will help you navigate around it, how to avoid it, and what solutions you can come up with to save yourself. Uh, a key pre- Usually the perpetrator is already used to the violence. So knowing the dangers or the signs can help you support the survivor in identifying situations where they are at a risk, or actions that they can take to navigate or mitigate further harm that has happened to them. So what we should consider, well, what we should put into consideration when making these safety plans is, first of all, you have to assess the survivor's current level of safety. Look, you, after narrating the cases that the situations they are in, first navigate how are they safe? How can you help this person be safe? So you assess the level and give solutions depending on what the survivor might might describe for you. Also, you have to find out the exact circumstances in which the survivor is in most danger and assess the severity of these risks. Uh, some survivors sometimes they don't give the accurate information that is happening to them. The information they give is kind of limited. So for you, your work is to try to find out exactly the circumstances that led to this violence, and maybe somehow somewhere you can find um, the extent to which they would push the other partner to become more violent, and you give solutions on how they can handle that situation. Also find out the resources the survivor possesses and develop a plan for the safety that incorporates these resources. Resources we may mean like maybe a person she can go to live with for some time. Uh, Most of them are advised maybe to keep some evidence on what is happening. Um, some of them, if they have like some savings, you can help them maybe find a way of moving away from this person, and also maybe some maybe a room that they can hide into in case this person has started reacting. So that's what I would think would help this person to navigate to us to navigate the situation that they are in. So the other thing, how we can help the survivors of GBV to heal and thrive. Usually we offer the individual counseling whereby you sit one on one with the survivor, you counsel them. Uh, this can help them heal either psychologically, they can heal psychologically or emotionally. They can find solution in that way, or even trying to divert their minds from what is happening. Then participating in group therapy. Group therapies is where you sit as a group and discuss on the issues that these people are facing. Different people come up and they discuss their issues. They discuss their issues that they are facing as a group, and maybe somehow, somewhere, you get to learn on how to keep yourself safe. You hear the different stories of the different survivors who are seeking for your help, who are seeking for the same help, and uh, and they are able to heal as a group. Also, engaging in psychosocial support activities. Psychosocial support activities may include like you can decide to do things like a group, some group work, like in terms of knitting, flower planting, um, um, just like coming up as a group, and you try to do some activity that will divert you from the events that are happening at that in your life, basically. Then practice survivor approach, survivor centered approach. This is basically on this on the side of the caseworker, whereby you focus on this survivor, and you help them get through whatever they are going through. Uh, I would define survivor center approach as establishing a relationship with the survivor in order to promote their physical and emotional safety, and this will enable you to build trust and help them restore some control over their lives. This means that this person will entirely trust you. Whenever they get a problem, they will come to you. Like you're the one who would help them to solve this issue. You're their first person to call, and also they will help this in this process. It will be they will be able to take some control over their lives, like to get things for things to get back to normal. So the guiding principles for survivor centered care will be they are basically four principles. Oh, Mclean is back. Hello, Mclean.
I'm so sorry. The technology really but I'm back.
Okay, thank you. So I was trying to describe for our viewers about the safety planning, and you were still defining for us what safety planning is. How will you describe the intimate partner violence, and what the behaviors of this violence look like?
Yeah, so just to pick up where we had stopped, like I said again, I really apologize. But intimate partner violence is behaviors that actually someone, like someone, their futures or their behaviors that a partner over the other partner is submissive, if I could say. I'll give an example between a man and a woman. Most times it's actually either a man or a woman who actually becomes violent, either emotionally, like I was saying, emotionally, physically, or sexually to their fellow partners, but also the issue of intimate partners, both either for same-sex relationship or heterosexual relationship. These are basically like straight, a man and a woman, or it can be a relationship between a man and a fellow man, or a woman and a fellow woman. But either way, these are behaviors that are very that cause harm or risk to the fellow partner. It can be either woman who is actually behaving that way. They are very violent, and they can say physical violence involves slapping, kicking, boxing someone, or even picking an object and throwing it at you, and this can actually cause bodily harm or inflict harm on you. Then psychologically, like I was saying, someone may just choose to keep quiet or go silent. You talk to them, they don't want to respond. You try to push them, they actually ignore you. And if you use or restraint with this person, definitely psychologically, emotionally, the other person is actually affected. And that is very much dangerous, because the person who is affected can actually end up even committing suicide because of the stress it comes with, the depression it comes with, and especially if you don't have emotional support or emotional environment where you have colleagues, friends who can actually support you to transition or to go through that journey. can lead to suicide. Then the sexual violence we are talking about here, partners can choose to actually deny sexual conjugal rights or sexual, services to the other partner. So you find that most times, by culture or by culture actually, not even by nature, but women have feelings, but it's very hard for a woman to face a fellow woman, a fellow partner with a man, and tell them, look, today I really want to be with you, or I want to have sex with you, or I'm in the mood. So most times women will use signs, but then you find the other person actually tends to ignore this person. So when such things also happen, that's sexual sexual violence, but also it can also be rape. It may call it marital rape, or also forced, sexual act when you're not interested in act, but then you want it's forcing you, and in that process there is a lot of force use, but also for a woman especially, you try, so there comes with some bruises, comes with body pain because someone is actually strangling you. Some people end up actually strangling via the neck, twisting your arms, your back, your feet, all these kind of things happen. And also sometimes it's also an act whereby someone may choose to probably maybe force you to do like go for like blowjobs, kind of sex. If at all it's not your choice or you're not interested, or anything actually which is not which you've not agreed upon, is actually sexual violence. So, and all these things happen between intimate partners or non-intimate partners. But like I said, it's not only between a man and between a woman and a man, but also it actually happens in same-sex relationships. So whereby somebody feels I'm stronger, I'm the boss, I'm the man here in this relationship. So you find those futures actually causing more harm into the relationship. So basically, Jackie, that's what I would say to our viewers in terms of some of the acts but also the other thing that I can also maybe just talk about intimate violence, you find that by nature in Africa we choose to ignore those small things unless something goes to the worst. But by culture, we, especially the women, we are told to keep calm, to be silent, to get water and take it and put it in your mouth so that you don't respond to the other person who is actually aggressive, and also maybe to he will change. But at the end of the day, the more we normalize that kind of violence, we've seen many people actually also losing their life in that process. So it is very critical, it is very important that, and I'm so happy that Women Correct Initiative is talking about it. But it's a huge issue that happens in silence, and many partners actually choose to normalize that violence, but also many people have actually lost their life as a result of intimate partner violence.
Okay, thank you, Mclean. And as a caseworker, what is our role here to support the survivor?
As guest worker, I think our biggest role, first of all, one is to listen. Listen to whoever is going through such a crisis. And then if you are able to, if you choose to support this person, I think for me, it's first of all to assess the risk of the situation, to make sure that you are on the same page with the client who has reported a case. For me, that is very important. Then the other thing that we can also do is work with the client to come up with a safety plan. For example, what do you think we can do? What are other options available? Because some people have chosen to send such kind of violence just because someone provides maybe food or basic needs, housing, and therefore they can't cook. So it's important for you to work with the client to plan. For example, how do we address, how we go about this situation? Can you survive without food? This partner? Probably if you go, how does he behave? Some people, when you choose to quit or to go, they will still come after you, and when they come after you, they can actually end up killing you. So it's important for you to do the assessment, understand those issues, those areas, and see how you can actually support that client. Then, of course, the other issue that we can also work as case workers refer to mediation. And I heard someone talk about probably it is also important for us now to colonize the processes of actually mediating with our clients when it comes to gender-based violence. So does it require mediation? Does it require again an equal person to all those options are important as a caseworker to support your clients, to help them, to support them, not to support them. One, identify the risk. Two, plan together and identify the safety mechanisms and which best option that suits them. And of course, you let them choose. You can work together to implement this whole list, but then they have to choose. So that at the end of the day, it's about them. And they don't blame you as a caseworker. And you remember you told me to make my partner, and yet he left me, he bought me flowers and all this. So to avoid all those blame issues, it's important for them, but also it's a way of empowering them actually to understand that even if it happens again, this is what happened. And probably if I see this happening to another person, another fellow woman, or another fellow partner, this is how I can speak. So those are some of the areas that I think.
Okay, so we had said that safety plan is like a tool that we the caseworkers use with the survivors. So when we are designing this plan, what should we put into consideration?
Um, well, yes. The first thing is actually assess the survivor's current level of safety. It is very important. Then it is also important to find out what resources the survivor possesses or develop a plan for safety that incorporates those resources. Resources, we are not only looking at money, but also we are looking at probably the people that surround this person. Then it is also important to understand the circumstance in which the survivor is exposed. Is it, for example, more dangerous? If it's dangerous, do they require an emergency, evacuation? Do they require shelter? Can she go to a friend? Does she have an aunt who can actually, host her as they are transitioning or they are reflecting about the situation? So, as caseworkers, those are very key issues that we need to prioritize when we are actually dealing with handling our clients, especially experiencing issues.
Okay. So given all that, how can we help this person, the GBV survivor, to heal and also thrive and get back to their normal lives? What are the things that we can do?
Okay, so the first, because by the time now you choose on what to do, ideally you might completely understand this person who you have already built rapport. So ideally you do understand the person that you want to heal. So the first priority, I think, for me, the first step is the first step to support is providing counseling. Counseling is basically talking to one another, understanding the differences without judging your client, but also maybe working together, like I said, on what are the possible mechanisms, but also just encouraging this person to actually do, bringing out different examples, what is happening, other people, other countries, we see, or even within the village. So that first of all, they accept the situation that they're in, but also for that they are not the first person that they're going through this. And probably for them, they may be going through such a situation, but there's another person who probably who is going through the worst. So counseling is very important, but of course counseling comes with a lot of therapy as a case worker, and you let the client say speak more, so that they're able to watch, because this is also part of their healing, sharing that actually keep it, letting it go or keep it quiet. Then of course under circumstances where you can also maybe have more than one or two, three people, you can also kind of have a collective counseling, which we refer to therapy. And during therapy here, you are able to hear and listen to other people who are probably going through it or going through the same situation. But also the beauty with this, we hear also experiences of these individuals, how they manage to address or they want to replicate this to other people as well, so that they will take the job. So it is also important to provide suggestions about services. Then you also let the survivor take, sorry, the survivor or the client take control of whatever they choose to say or whatever they want to say. Like you don't tell them, you know what, I think you should do this. Then maybe they tell you, so, you know, he got this, he got he threw down the TV, and then say, why did you throw the fridge? You know, so that it is tit for tat. Then somebody, so he tried this, why didn't you go to the street? So you're pushing someone, you're giving answers. So you are in ideally kind of guiding the direction of the discussion. So it is important to let the client take control or take the center stage of their discussion, of the approach in terms of narrating their story, identifying all these available opportunities or potential approaches to address this challenge or this crisis they're going through, but also to come up with an actual plan for them, and then let them explain how they're going to work this challenge. So for you, your role is basically to be there to listen, but also just to support this person to work through this challenge. Yeah. Over to you.
Yes, I wanted to add something that I've been thinking about the prosecuting the perpetrator, because this would give some satisfaction to the survivor that this person has maybe been arrested, or they've like offering this what is it called, sort of a protection order,
Sanctions action.
but
Okay.
as a protection order, so that this person doesn't come nearer this person. I think in some way this would help the survivor to heal.
Yeah.
It's something that I had thought of. Maybe we could add on that.
Yeah. Thank you
Uh,
for that. Yes.
so yeah, and also the survivor centered approach. Would you briefly describe for us what that looks like?
Sorry.
The survivor centered approach. Oh, well, we've lost her again. But what I wanted to describe on survivor center approach, I would think it's some kind of establishing, like first, especially for the case workers, it could be some type of way of establishing a relationship with the survivor that will promote their physical and emotional safety, like the physical part, as in offering the shelter, maybe if you have a shelter where this person can stay in that way. Then the emotional safety, as in you hope this person he'll like not to believe whatever insults are thrown at this person by their partner, and also building trust between you and the survivor, so that they can open up more. They can clearly take in what you tell them, so that they can restore some control over their lives. So this survivor centered approach care has some guiding principles that Maclean.
Hello.
Welcome back, Maclean.
Just, I'm really sorry. I don't know what is
It's
happening, but
okay.
my network is breaking. I just pray that it's
Yes.
not an issue again.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I wanted you to briefly describe the survivor centered approach.
Yeah. So, what can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. So, sorry again. I have to apologize for our viewers. That's really difficult on my side. I'm sorry to reject the
It's okay.
well, the survivor-centered approach basically it's a relationship with a survivor or a case worker, between a case worker and a survivor that promotes their physical and emotional safety, building on trust, to build trust and help them restore some control over their lives. So, what is what's important here is actually the issue of control, of empowering the survivor to actually gain control of their lives, so that they do not see themselves as victims or people who deserve, to be commanded to be mistreated, physically beaten up, assaulted, to be shouted at, or to be denied, and someone is actually able to return that way too. Like they're able to, first of all, to sense that there is violence coming, or someone is acting this way. I think they can actually act this way. So that it is a really special relationship between a survivor and a case worker that promotes physical and emotional well-being, build trust, and help them restore control over their lives and their body.
Yeah. So what are these the principles? Because if it's some sort of an approach that is based on that, what are those principles that we use to guide us while using this tool as a safety planning tool? Well, there are some that I have here, and one is to be treated with dignity and respect instead of being exposed to victim blaming attitudes. Like someone might a survivor might be going through this kind of violence, and to some point she's blamed for you're the one who did this, you're the one who provokes him, you're the one who like the way you blame a survivor for, like making it seem like she's the one she's the reason why this violence is happening. And also to choose you have to choose the course of action in while dealing with the violence instead of feeling powerless. Like a victim survivor might come to you, tell you whatever they are going through, and you're like, there's nothing I can do for you, I can't help you there. This kind of, there's a way it puts them down, like it's they feel they are alone in the thing, and yet they're supposed to be supported. Then privacy and confidentiality instead of being exposed. Like if a survivor comes to you and tells you whatever they are going through, you shouldn't make it like so public, but because this is between you and the survivor. And lastly, the non-discrimination instead of discrimination based on gender, ethnic, age, ethnicity. So when a survivor comes to you, however form they are in, you shouldn't we shouldn't discriminate them, whether they have money or not, whether this person is disabled or not. They shouldn't feel discriminated in any way. So this so basically, safety planning is really important as a tool to take it up as we social workers and case workers on issues related to GBV. We need to really have more knowledge about this. So, dear viewers, this winds up our show. Thank you for listening in, and I would like to thank everyone on behalf of Mclean. We've been having technical issues, and we are sorry about that. To catch up with this conversation, you can watch us on our YouTube channel, Human Rights Initiative. You can follow us on our Twitter pages, Warrior Uganda, and our Facebook page, Human Rights Initiative. Mclean, I was winding up the program.
Fine, it's okay.
Mm. So if you have any last
Okay.
words, you tell them.
Yeah. One thing I must say, really, Jackie, I'm really sorry, but you had asked me a question about the principles of
Mm,
survivors. Yeah, survivors in
mm,
healthcare. I think just
mm,
in brief, one is actually confidentiality. It's very important. If someone
mm,
entrusts you as a guest worker and then they come to you for support or help, it's important for you to really keep that in private and also not to share it with any other person unless they consent that properly disclose to this person. Then the other thing, it is also important to treat everybody in it, no matter what their background, level of education, their social class. Most times we want to respect those with money because we expect maybe a payback or a small kickback, but it is important whether someone has money, whether it's a child, whether it's whatever tribe, whatever age, it is important for us really to value them and treat them with respect, but also support them so that tomorrow they can also be so proud for the services that are caseworker that you have given them. Then the other thing I think can also maybe just talk about is the issue of let this person take the center stage of identifying the solution of the crisis or the challenge that they have put on the table. Don't dictate, don't coerce, don't push, don't command, don't tell people do this, do that. Very important principles that we can apply them and them to actually own their strategies and their planning to transition or go through this crisis. My last word, I can also say that intimate violence it's real, it's happening every day, and it will happen even within our houses with the people we less expect within our houses. So it is important that when you see those signs, please don't take it for granted. Let us break the silence. Speak loud against violence in whatever form, whether it's sexual, physical, emotional, social, psychological. It is important for us to say no, and also to support in the community. Let us not just, been seeing a lot of videos, people filming, sharing, but by the time you really hit your phone and, just take a photo of somebody being grabbed, beaten, pulled hair, west and west, slapping, and really you stand there just to watch that. Let us have a sense of humor and support and take responsibility, because it's about me, you, and the other person to say no to violence. And if we see anybody doing that, it's our role to stop them so that it doesn't happen. Thank you very much, Wari, for this topic. I'm so humbled. And to our viewers, thank you so much for listening in. I really apologize for my network. Sorry and shame on me. But it's a big world that Wari is taking us to, and probably next time I'll be there. Thank you so much, Jackie, and also to get.
Thank you. Thank you too for your time, please. Thank you. Thank you, our viewers.
Bye.
Bye.